Thank you.
I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to this evening's meeting. This is the sixth meeting of the year of the Board of Directors of the City of Hot Springs. We'll begin with an invocation by Reverend J.J. Galloway of First United Methodist Church, and I'll lead the pledge. All rise.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let's pray. God of light and life, for the beauty of the earth, for the glory of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. As these words from the beloved hymn, God, are lifted to you in praise, we are indeed grateful for the beauty of our community that surrounds us each and every day. So help us to be good stewards of your beauty, God, good stewards of the gifts that you have given to each of us, and good stewards of the trust the citizens of our city gives to these elected to represent them. May your Spirit bring wisdom to this meeting and blessing to all who serve our fair city and greater Hot Springs community. Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now call this meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Director Aaron Holliday. Here. Director Phyllis Beard.
Present.
Director Marcia Dobbs-Smith.
Here.
Director Dudley Webb. Director Karen Garcia.
Here.
Director Steve Trusty.
Here.
Mayor Pat McCabe.
Here. This time we'll consider the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda or items to be moved from consent agenda to new business? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So
Director
moved.
Garcia, seconded by Director Dobbs-Smith. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Agenda is approved. Now we'll consider approval of the minutes of the regularly scheduled meeting of March 4th, 2025. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes as presented? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Director Trustee, seconded by Director Garcia. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Recognition of guests. Individual directors have any guests? I know you're all our guests. Welcome. This time we'll hear from our city manager, Mr. Bill Burrow, for the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Before I go into my report, I'd like to ask our finance director, Karen Scott, to come up and provide you with the quarterly financial update. Karen?
Thank you and good evening. These will be numbers for December 31st, 2024, and I wanted to remind and make sure everyone understands they are unaudited. The auditors have completed their field work. We are expecting to still have to make a few journal entries, but anyways, so the general fund finished 2024 with year-to-date revenues over expenditures of $5.13 million. We amended the budget and we're projecting a loss of $2.2 million, so that is a positive swing of $7.4 million. We are down from last year, and some of the factors are sales tax was down. As you know, I've sent you the reports, 0.9%. Business licenses were down, franchise fees were down slightly. However, Oaklawn and franchise fees were up. The fund balance in the general fund at the year end unrestricted is $26.397 million, and the restricted is $10.588 million. In the street fund, we finished with revenues under expenditures, that is a loss of $1.83 million. However, that is due to increased expenditures for paving. We spent about $6 million more in 2024 on paving than we did in 2023. And so I would like to report, however, that we have a restricted fund balance of $1.7 million and an unrestricted fund balance of $16.8 million in the street fund. The water fund finished the year with revenues over expenditures of $4.074 million. That is down slightly from last year. We had a slight decrease in revenues and a slight increase in expenditures, but the fund balance in the water fund is $79.74 million. The wastewater fund entered the year with revenues over expenditures of $3.03 million. That is up slightly from last year, and we do have a fund balance in the wastewater budget fund, of $55.45 million. The solid waste fund had revenues over expenditures of $206,000. That was about flat with last year, and the fund balance in the solid waste fund is $8.29 million. I would like to highlight a couple things that I don't normally talk about, and you'll see in your financial statements when you're looking at them in your packet. The transit fund ended with a revenues under expenditures of $227,000. That was because of an audit entry that we had to make. We didn't have a fully executed grant document on December 31st, and so the auditors required us to take that money out of revenue. And we have, I'm happy to report, made several draws since then, so we are doing fine in transit. We were a bit concerned because of the federal administration halt on some funding, but we have been fully able to draw down those funds. The wellness fund ended the year with revenues over expenditures of $370,000. We had actually budgeted a loss of a little over $1 million because we did that premium holiday for 2 months. So that's a swing of about $1.4 million. And the fund balance in the wellness fund is $9.9 million. And that concludes my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of Karen? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. As I typically do, I want to start out by welcoming some of our new hires. We've got William Gaddy and Jay Sells that started with our airport, Colton Buckner with our urban forestry, Randy Dry at wastewater lift stations, and Joshua Tollett in our street division as a truck driver. So I want to welcome all 5 of them to the Hot Springs family. And also want to recognize Taylor Muse, who was promoted to driver with the Hot Springs Fire Department, as well as Sean Booth, promoted to a utilities crew leader. So want to welcome those that are coming on and congratulate those that have just recently been promoted. As you're aware, and I want people at home to be aware, that the City of Hot Springs is pleased to continue strengthening its partnership with the Hot Springs Housing Authority. City staff provide expertise and assistance to further the Housing Authority's mission of ensuring clean, safe, affordable housing for our community. And to support this effort, we're having a landlord summit, which will offer a valuable opportunity for landlords, realtors, and property owners to connect with resources and learn more about the essential work of the Hot Springs Housing Authority. The event will be hosted in partnership with the Hot Springs Landlord Association, as well as the Housing Authority, on March 20th at 6 p.m. at Smokin' in Style Barbecue. So looking forward to that meeting, and landlords are encouraged to attend to gain insight on some of these housing initiatives, regulatory updates, and support programs. And I think they're going to be rolling out a new electronic version of some of their applications. So looking forward to hearing what the Housing Authority has to share, as well as the Landlord Association. Want to recognize our public safety. They did a phenomenal job planning, getting ready, and then supporting the St. Patrick's Day parade last night. Early numbers are about 30,000. That's the number I've been hearing. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I've been hearing. Also want to recognize LifeNet. They had some additional resources in, and I saw them on 2 or 3 occasions having to respond to some minor things, but want to thank them for the additional resources, and the staff they had at the parade as well did a great job. Spring Trikes and Trails is coming up. This will be our 3rd annual Springtime Tykes, Trikes, and Trails event. It's going to be held at the new Velocity Park at 325 Valley Street. Parks and Trail staff are exploring join them in exploring the Hot Springs Creek Greenway. We're going to have some bikes down there, as many as we have that people can use if they don't have a bike. But we're encouraging everyone to come to that event And if you want to sign up and register for that, you can go to cityhs.net/parkrec and sign up. The city is seeking applicants to our advisory and commission positions. This is something that we only do a couple of times a year, but we have several vacancies and want to encourage anyone that has an interest to serve on any of these commissions or committees to apply. We'll be taking applications till March 31st. That's a Monday for these volunteer positions, and you can get to those through cityhs.net/boards-commission. You can probably get to that on any of our cityhs.net website and just go to the proper departments. Want to make the board aware, this has been something that's been in the work for a long time. The Parks and Trails Department, along with engineering, they've been working hard with our local artist, Long Wazoo, on placement of the newest statue called The Visitor. That's going to take place on April the 4th at 2 p.m. at Hill Wheatley. We'll have an unveiling and a reception. The Visitor is a 24-foot tall. It's not 24 feet, the statue itself. It's 12 feet, but it's on a 12-foot granite base. So it's going to be tall. It's going to be definitely a photo opportunity for those that are visiting our city. It's a bronze statue of a Native American woman on horseback representing Hot Springs' rich heritage and natural beauty. This sculpture was born from the love of two visitors from the community of Hot Springs and nourished by countless others through their shared vision. Just want to welcome everyone to that unveiling. Again, that'll be April 4th at 2 p.m. I think we're actually going to set it this Thursday if weather permits. It'll be under wraps, and we'll keep it that way until the time of the unveiling. So I want to thank Denny for all the, and Michael Hill for all the work they've done on getting that together. And then finally, I want to recognize our finance department. You just heard from Karen, but they won the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada, what we call the GFOA. They've awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting to the City of Hot Springs for the financial report for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023. I think this is like the 31st consecutive year that the Finance Department has garnered this award. It may sound like a gimme after you've won it that many times, but I can tell you the amount of hours that they put into this is incredible. It's a very, very big document, and it's the highest form of recognition that a government accounting and in financial reporting can have. So big congratulations to Karen and her team. Thank you. Mayor, that concludes my comments.
Very good. Thank you.
Mayor, sorry.
Director Holliday?
I do. You mentioned Tykes and Trails, date and time.
Well,
please.
if I had that, I would have said it, but they left it off my sheet.
Oh, sorry. I just figured I missed it. So, to be announced later. Okay, thank
It is to be
you.
announced.
Very nice. Okay, moving on to Board of Directors announcements of upcoming events. Individual directors have upcoming events you want the public to be aware of. Director Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, wanted to announce that the Food for Thought has this Saturday, March 22nd, from 10 a.m. till noon, which they host this every fourth Saturday of the month at the parking lot on the corner of Church Street and Malvern Avenue, which is 350 Malvern Avenue. The Food for Thought is the Giving Team's monthly food, nutrition, and resource programs, and it is free for all to come and participate in the resources. There'll be food, there'll be Washita Behavioral Services will be available, the library offers resources. There's a whole double-page list of resources available, and anyone that you know that could be assisted in this way, please share with them this Saturday, 10 a.m. till noon at the Church Street and Malvern Avenue, 350 Malvern. And happy to see the director of the program here, and always welcome her services for our community. Thank you.
Any other directors? Director Holliday?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to invite everyone out this Sunday, March 23rd, from noon to 2:30 to Arlington Lawn. The group who organized the rally in support of our National Park Rangers and our National Park workers is rallying again to show continued support for our federal employees and specifically for our national park. Anyone is welcome to come and hang out and show their support for our national park. Again, it's this Sunday on Arlington Lawn from noon to 2:30. Thank you.
Any other announcements of upcoming events? Director Dobbs Smith?
I want us to make sure that we notice that the Forestry Division is hosting their 5th annual Free Tree Friday. That's a lot of alliteration. It will be on March the 28th at the library. You can stop by and pick up a tree or several trees anytime between 11 and 1. And this is a fun event. I've got some in my yard that have been planted probably, I guess, the first year, and they've gotten quite large. But it's a fun thing to do with the kids to show them how things grow and improve your yard. Thank you.
Director Holliday?
I'm back. So because I asked about our event at Velocity Park, someone texted it to me. So,
Just about to give it.
yeah, so it says Friday, March 28th from 1 to 3. So anyway, sometimes it's good to speak up.
Yep, 325 Valley Street.
Very nice. Any other announcements of upcoming events? Any addendums to any announcements that were made? Hearing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. These are items of a routine nature that do not merit individual discussion. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Director Garcia, seconded by Director Trustee. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Consent agenda is adopted. We have one new business item to take action on, and that is to consider Resolution R-25-49 and ask the city attorney to read by title.
Resolution R-25-49, a resolution approving work order number 2402527-1 to the master agreement for professional services between the City of Hot Springs and Garver LLC for Phase 2 of the reconstruction of the taxiways A and B at the Hot Springs Memorial Field Airport. That concludes your reading, Mayor. If you would, entertain a motion second to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Director Dobbs Smith, seconded by Director Garcia. And our airport director, Mr. Ron Roulette, will provide the staff report. Welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This work order is Phase 2 of our major taxi reconstruction, and we're going to be moving the taxiway down to make room for hangars in the future. It's a part of a 95-5 grant between the federal and state agencies. It covers bid package, bid services, and construction administration for that Phase 2. In your packet, you have maps that show the work areas that are indicated.
Any questions of Ron? Director Trustee?
Thank you, Mayor. Don, about how much will this entire project cost? I mean, I know it's a multi-million-dollar project, I'm sure. Do you have any idea? Because this is just for the services, as it says, for, the services listed there. But do we have an idea how much the entire project will be?
The overall project for the taxiway itself, I believe, is in the range of $5 million.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone sign up to speak?
No, sir.
Discussion amongst directors? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Director Holliday.
Aye.
Beard.
Aye.
Dobbs Smith.
Aye.
Garcia. Aye. Trustee.
Aye.
Mayor McCabe.
Aye. Resolution is adopted. Now we'll move on to Board of Directors items for discussion as we come to the conclusion of our meeting. Items for discussion. Director, please proceed.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. I have my report from the National League of Cities, our Congressional Cities Conference in Washington, that I would like to share. The first topic is the RAISE grant, and I was invited to a special NLC grant workshop because the City of Hot Springs had been awarded a $2.3 million RAISE grant for the Belding Street extension and a sidewalk trail project. Because of many budget cuts, much of the federal funding has been put on hold. Across the country, municipalities are trying to access their money. So I was in the room with people from North Miami, Florida, Center Point, Alabama, and my friend from Plymouth, Minnesota, along with her city manager. And we were advised as municipalities that everyone is experiencing this across the country, and that we are to keep in constant contact with our congressional leaders and call for weekly update on the status of these grants. I also spoke with an official from the U.S. Department of Transportation, and she gave me a direct contact of who could provide us with the most up-to-date information on our grant. Then NLC reminded municipalities, and this is a fact of life, is the squeakiest wheel will get the oil. And believe me that no one from Washington is going to call Hot Springs and tell us how to access the money that we were awarded. So I do have 2 contacts from people from the U.S. Department of Transportation, and we can follow up with them, or I could follow up with them, whoever. It's a joint effort. And the next one is the Planned Development District. I had a moment to meet with Jeff Boney, the chair of the Community and Economic Development Federal Advocacy Group. I was sharing with him that there was an area in my district where people were illegally dumping things they don't want, like furniture, mattresses, that kind of thing. And I expressed my hope for the area to be redeveloped. He suggested that we approach the police department to install cameras in certain neighborhoods to monitor illegal dumping, and you had this concern as well. And and that we should and request that this be financed through forfeited drug funds. He also advised us to conduct a community survey polling residents about how they would like to see the land redeveloped. He recommended changing the zoning for multi-use purpose for a planned development district. Then the possibilities would be endless. And I'm speaking of the east side of town near Chattanooga Park, like that area in general. And then this was one of my favorite pieces. This is about veteran centers. And I met with the intergovernmental affairs liaison and talked to her about some problems our local veterans were experiencing. I told her about a double amputee who was living unsheltered outside of a store in my district. His friend kept calling me, so I contacted Veterans Affairs in Little Rock, but I could not get anyone on the phone. The liaison provided me with a veterans crisis line to patch them through to a veteran center, which are community-based counseling services. She also offered to schedule a local representative to meet with veterans and deploy a mobile vet center to come to the giving team on Saturday to meet with veterans that have been in the National Guard and Reserve components. And I also forwarded that information on to Ms. Davis. I don't know if she's contacted them yet, but this was like 2 hours ago. The center assists veterans with successful transitions from military to civilian life and provide a wide range of social and psychological services. And next we have the Housing Accelerator. The National League of Cities and the American Planning Association have launched an awareness campaign called the Housing Supply Accelerator, which they offer their expertise and resources to cities and towns across the country to manage their housing shortages. They informed us that local leaders could have the greatest impact on addressing the lack of affordable housing. Some municipalities are getting creative with their zoning ordinances, and some are building their own housing units. They encouraged municipalities to take advantage of funding available through the Infrastructure Investment and Job Act to repair or build homes. There's also a Filling the Gap tool, Unlocking Housing Finance, which is a database that will inform municipalities about which federal and state funds are available. And then, one more. Then we have the NLC Academy. I spoke with Mark Speck, who is running the NLC High Performance Leadership Academy, which is a 12-week online program offered in April, August, and September. The program shares leadership's best practices designed with Fortune 500 executives and esteemed academics. It's ideal for those who should be considering how to retain and invest in top talent, prepare emerging leaders for supervisory roles, enhance communication and teamwork, and support effective succession planning. Usually, NLC offers free training, but this course has a fee of nearly $3,000. But I believe we can enroll at a discount of $1,000 if we wanted to participate. He says that past participants have raved about it, and more than half of the counties in Arkansas have participated. Maybe it's something people in the business community would also be interested in joining as well. And I am happy to forward the flyer to the board. And in closing, or last but not least, we were graced by the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, who came to deliver a keynote address. Let's just say the crowd was very responsive during his 20-minute speech. He did, however, reiterate what other federal officials have told us in the past. Local leaders are the most important elected officials, he said. We need to hear from our local elected officials, and even if we don't agree with them, we still need to have a conversation and work together. And my final thoughts, the National League of Cities reminds municipalities that our problems are not unique, and there is hope and help available for cities as long as they take advantage of those opportunities. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Directors have any questions of Director Beard regarding her trip? Information dispensed. Thank you. Any other directors' items for discussion? Director Garcia.
Yes, I just wanted to publicly acknowledge the success of this weekend and yesterday for St. Patrick's Day. Visit Hot Springs did an outstanding job. Everyone on the team. It was a great event on the heels of the state basketball championships with all of the visitors into town. We had a lot of traffic, but it kept moving, and hopefully the numbers will reflect that in our March reports. And I also wanted to acknowledge I did observe work and the people that were on duty from LifeNet, as well as our great Hot Springs Police Department did a great job during all of these activities, and everyone from the city that participated, and from putting up barriers that the wind kept blowing out of the way, and they kept putting them back and taking care of all of our visitors. And everyone that I spoke to just praised Hot Springs. And I know the mayor sees a lot of these visitors downtown, but it is always great to hear these praises of your hometown, and want to share that because that reflects on all of our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other director with items for discussion? Hearing none, we'll move on. Actually, we're moving on to adjournment. So we do have a work session immediately following. Director Garcia?
I didn't hear any other comments, so I move to adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn? Second? No, nobody wants to go home? Who seconded that, Director Holliday? All in favor of the motion to adjourn, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.